Good evening, boys. How's it going? So, I'm back. I know we all struggle with things, but I'm pretty sure I struggle, and I'm diagnosed with like 3 disorders. At least 3, I think. I think I have more than that. But it's a hard time for me to follow through, for me to finish things. I'm a great starter. I'm great at starting, man. I can start just about anything. But finishing I don't really finish things all the time. But I'm here. God's given me another day with this foolish hope of mine. This foolish hope that God became man and died for me, died for all of creation, really. I mean, the essence of it is really to look past just that God sacrificed for you and your sins personally. Really, the truth of it is, when you get to the bottom of it, is that God died for all sin. Meaning, in the garden, when God made the first sacrifice and became the first high priest, made the sacrifice for the original sin, that was his way of atoning for sin, because sin had entered the world. But the whole thing that fits together is that all along, Jesus Christ is the answer. And he died and lived perfectly so that the world could have sin from the beginning of time. So it's not really honestly just for you. It's for all of sin. It's like Jesus Christ is the linchpin that makes the world work. You know? I'm not trying to preach either, but I've done a lot of looking into this stuff, And I'm a regular guy, skateboarder as a kid. Like, I'm not any kind of authority. But I've done a lot of research on it. Like fell off, had my entire life destroyed and broken into pieces, and got to the bottom and had to search for meaning. Ended up locked up at one point. This shit can happen to anybody. You think only bad people get locked up? I mean, I guess everybody says that, right? Especially people that get locked up. They all want to say that they're innocent, and trust me, I get it. But in a way, the system is always set up. I mean, and we need the laws and the rules, but it's always set up basically to, if you got the right lawyer, if you got the right angle, if you can make the right deal, everything's up for negotiation, right? So, anyway, to not totally get off point. Yeah, God created a version of himself who came and was sacrificed and died on the cross as almost like the way God had planned it from the beginning for it to play out. It was always how it was going to be. That's how the world existed, is because there was a Messiah, a one special being that would sacrifice for the whole. It's the same thing as the Matrix. So it makes a lot of sense. Like, if you really sounds pretty crazy, but if you really do all your homework and your research and you look for the answers yourself, you're going to see that we have thousands of years of history around the Jewish religion, around Jehovah. And the story with Jesus Christ is very, there's a lot of evidence around it. you know? And what other answer do we have at this point? Like, I'm out of answers. So, it's our story, especially if, you have any history with Catholics or, the Roman Empire lineage in any way. I mean, this is the world. This is where we come from. This is who we are as a people. Modern culture is off the back of all of the things that led to, what created it, what made it what it was. And we had a great culture for a long time that respected, God, and it was at the foremost of everything we did. People would go to work all day and they built the churches and they did a lot of things to kind of, bring attention to that story. There's a lot of chaos and evil that happened with the Catholic Church. I'm not Catholic. No hatred if you are, but the Catholic Church and Rome and what that represents, it doesn't, kind of gives Christianity a bad name if you ask me. And there's a lot of stories that could go along with that, and maybe someday I'll tell you them. But living on a prayer. We're living on a prayer, baby. And you just wonder, like, man, like, am I just supposed to get more attention and act like I'm black, or act like, act like a rapper, or do something crazy to get views because that's what seems to pay nowadays? Do I need to, sleep with a tranny, or fucking, like, what do I need to do, man? Like, what's gonna, like, make people like me? But some of us, no matter how hard you try, it's like, like, it's almost like an alcoholic. It's like, I hit that bottle before, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to overcomplicate things, I mean, that's just me. I guess that's just my straight whiteness coming out. So, excuse me. But, there used to be some respect and, like, honor and just having, like, a nice, classy demeanor, and, trying to dress decent and look presentable and talk with your full words and sentences, and not completely shit on and disrespect the language. And I mean, how many times can you hear someone say "yeah"? Like don't even say "you all." Like "y'all." Like it went from "you all" to "y'all" to "yeah." Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like do you guys hear yourself talk? Like, I just can't stand it, man. Like, it makes me want to jump out of my skin and fucking run. Like, is this the fucking world we live in, dude? Seriously. Where all the wrong is right and you just get constantly told by everyone around you that you're not worth fucking shit. And, like, anything good that you do is just not good enough anymore, Like, you're not getting enough attention, bro. You're not fucking, you're not turning it up enough. Turn it up. Like, get something fucking going. You know what I mean? Dye your hair. Fucking screw a dude. Like, give us something here, all right? Like, I don't know. Like, I just have this, like, thing in me, like, I guess it's military, whatever, but, like, I want to salute the flag. I want to believe in justice, man. I want to believe that there's something worth fighting for, And it's just like, it's like a delusion that I live in my head, because every time I look around, all you see is the opposite, man. It's just like, fuck, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why are you such an idiot? Like I've almost totally turned myself off from, like, ever letting someone let me feel love. Like, I want to love some girl, but, like, I've totally turned myself off from it. Like, I can't love anybody anymore. I got destroyed. We'll go into that later. Like, I'll tell you guys one day. And fuck, man, like, I really got it handed to me. I really did. People are going to say you deserve things and this and that, and I guess it is what it is, bro. You play with the fire, you get burned. All right. But, you know, we're all living life here, and, you know, the females get a fucking pass no matter what they do, you know? A girl gets pregnant, has a baby, prostitutes, and everybody's fine with it. You know, everybody still supports her. Me, I have a baby with a girl who prostitutes, and my whole family won't talk to me just because of her. Like, I'm never okay. Like, nothing I ever do is good enough for anybody. Like, it's always fucking, I get judged. I rate the wrong post on Facebook. Like, no one wants to talk to me. Fucking, you know, like, I don't get it, man. Like, you know, like, you open your mouth and speak the fucking truth, and everybody, like, acts like you're fucking, like, you got fucking HIV or some shit. Like, I remember just going, like, turning on Netflix, turning on this, turning on that, and it's like, all you hear is, like, comedians just, like, ripping on white people. It's like, I get it, bro. Like, yeah, like, I fucking get it. Like, I'm not even, I mean, I don't know. Like, I come from the middle of fucking nowhere, Pennsylvania, like we all do. We're all from fucking, like, the middle of these farms in Wisconsin, and, you know, like, we don't fucking deserve any of this shit. Like, and I don't really give a fuck, like, you know, whatever. But at the same time, it's just like, why is it's just so blatant. It's like everything is just so fucking, like, out there. Like, oh, you know, like, fuck you. Like, I don't know. You can never fucking open your mouth, bro. You can't say shit. Or, you know, God forbid, you know, like, you get put in the fucking mental hospital, man. You know, your wife, bro, one word, you're fucking white. You have a wife or a woman living with you, it's like having an enemy on the inside. You have a kid, it's like having like a nuclear bomb. Like, you know, it's like, and she's got control of the keys. Like, that's what it's like, bro. You know? Try it. Try it in America. Try being a fucking, you know, everybody likes to bust the fucking man's balls in America. You know, men this, you know, either we're too young, our whole lives, we're in our 20s, and girls won't look at us, we don't have enough. Then we're too old. Then they just want to use us and spit us out. And the whole culture, there's no love. There's no fucking decent music. There's no fucking, like, it's just everybody's getting famous with, like, you know, shit in their teeth and island boys and this and that and prostitutes. It's like, bro, you're going to get to the point where all these Bel Air is going to be all OnlyFans girls. And you're going to be there, like, poor, and then you're going to be busting all your morals because you're like, well, shit. You know, I thought I did the right thing, and, you know, these people every single day are just laughing in my face. We let it all happen because we're all fucking pussies. One thing that pisses me off about us guys is stop being fucking chivalrous fucking pussies. Like, give it a fucking break. My mom, your mom, they're all not such great people, and we fucking know it, bro. Like, you know, I only got one person that even gives a shit about me. It's probably my mom, and, you know, I love her to death. But if I really want to get, like, honest about some of the decisions and attitude and the plans and just the way that they are in general, I mean, it's a fucking nightmare. And I don't wish it on anybody. It's like heart-wrenching, just fucking hollow disappointment. You're never enough, you know? Couldn't get, you know, it's like ever since the moment you're born, they can't fucking stand you. Then your whole life, you know, it's like you're just in the way. Then, you know, you're in between her and whoever other guy she's seeing. And it's just like, that's all I remember my whole life. And it's just like, I've never had I've never just like, and there's nothing nobody can change about this. And God forbid anybody hears this or, you know, because I'm not trying to point anybody out, but you grow up, you have girlfriends, you're trying to have a family, you're trying to face the world, you're paying your taxes. If you're decent and you're up and you're sober and you're paying your fucking taxes, where's the fucking help at? I mean, nobody's sitting there giving you a round of applause, you know? It's like, women, it's like, oh my God, she's not prostituting, a round of applause. Oh, she is prostituting? Yeah, She's making money. You know, it's like, that's your one duty as a fucking woman, is to not be a whore. I mean, is there anything else that they can really even mess up? You know, like you wake up, you got your life made for you here. Especially if you're pretty. If you have a decent attitude, usually you have your life made for you as a woman. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants a pretty girl around. Everyone wants to hire women. It's bullshit, the job stuff I hear. Because, I mean, if, you know, everyone wants to hire women, you know, if they're capable. But I go all over the place, you know. And I used to never think, honestly, that anyone wanted to hear anything that I had to say. And if I waited around for people that knew me and, you know, that I relied on and, you know, to give me any kind of credit, I'd be waiting a long time. But, you know, I go online with YouTube, I watch some of you guys, I see some of the channels, and, you know, I kind of realize, like, maybe I have a place, you know, maybe I'm kind of like you guys, you know, some of you guys I see. And like I've been saying lately, you know, hearing about the suicide rate, it kind of, you know, I don't like to be like a warrior for anything. It's almost like ridiculous. These people, you know, I'm vegan. Like, you're vegan? Really? Like, that's what you're doing for the world? And it's great. Be fucking vegan. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying. I'm not like, you know, I'm not pinning this on my bio. Like, but I'd like to connect with dudes that are possibly like me, you know? And I guess it hits so close to home because I've felt like killing myself for a long time. And sometimes it just seems like a great reason, honestly, you know? You're so alone, you're so sick of it all. You're tired of competing. Everything's a fucking competition. You're tired of it. You know, for me to do all this shit, like, I gotta, like, look cool. I gotta get fucking, like, likes. I gotta fucking... It's tough, dude. It's tough to even care inside anymore. It's fucking hard to even care anymore. You know, what, for all these fucking people? Most of the time, I don't even want to fucking get up. You know? I really don't. Like, inside, like, I have to fight to just be like, I gotta fucking keep going. I gotta fucking keep going. Because there's no fucking choice. And none of these people will ever love you. They'll never love me. The only person who's ever gonna love you is yourself. Sometimes, you know, they say meditate, but if you want to meditate in like a practical way, you can close your eyes and you can just kind of flash back over your life, see yourself as a kid, see yourself going through all the things that you've gone through, and reach out and give yourself a break first. Because most likely you didn't have a perfect family, you didn't have the perfect parents, but something inside of you was still good. And that kept you going. So first you gotta accept that of yourself. You gotta realize, like, no one's ever gonna come for me. No one's gonna love me. There's nobody there that's strong enough, that cares enough, that is gonna love me. And if you have somebody, then, like, good for you. I'm not saying it's everybody, but most of us, you know? So, first of all, forgive yourself. You know, you've been judged a lot. You've been judged by even Christianity. I'm here to tell you, Jesus, the whole message of Jesus is that everything's paid for. Nothing you've done is worse than what God can handle. And God has already created the entire world with sin in it, with Jesus Christ in it. It's already been done. You're already forgiven. You know why? Because God knew you were born in shit. So just, if you can't forgive yourself right now, look down at yourself from another age so you can kind of get some distance. You know, let some mental images of yourself go through your head, and some of the things that, maybe you faced that were hard, or that, some of the things that you did that were generous, and as a young kid, some of the sacrifices you made. And just first of all, appreciate yourself and thank your inner self for all that you've done. Because you have to, it took me a long time, but you have to step back and you have to see yourself at a distance almost. Like you're a camera in the ceiling. Like, just give yourself a break. Take a look at yourself for a minute. No one else is ever going to forgive you. No one else is ever going to care. Only you can forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. That's one of the first steps. Because now you got to reach down and you got to reach out your hand inside of yourself. Picture yourself almost like you're reaching down a hand to your younger self, the child inside, the person you are, and you're just giving yourself a hand, and you're going to pick yourself up. And you're going to be the person that you never had. All the people that let you down, that weren't there for you, all the times you were alone. First, you got to see that all the times you were alone, you were there for yourself. And there was something in you that kept looking for more, and that's God. There's something in you that knew that no matter how bad it got, you would always be a good person. You would always do what's right. You would always fucking be disciplined and push through, and you would always just do what it took. And that's just who you've always been. And it's not something that is popular on TikTok. And it's not something that anybody's going to give a shit about you for. But you know. You got to hug yourself and you got to forgive yourself. And then you got to pick yourself up and you got to love yourself. And loving yourself isn't flowers and roses. It's doing whatever it takes to be good to yourself, like you would do for your child. Would you let your child eat candy for dinner? Would you let your child eat candy for breakfast? Would you let your child go to sleep without brushing his teeth? Would you let your teeth rot out of your mouth? It takes balls, discipline, routine, and standing up for yourself to start taking care of who you are, because you deserve it, and no one else is going to do it for you. And it starts with all the little things, and it builds from there until all of a sudden one day, if you add one little thing at a time, you've got a great life. And you can take another snapshot inside your mind, and at that point, you'll be able to look back down at yourself, and you'll be able to thank yourself for digging yourself out of this fucking rut. How against all odds, no matter how much pain and loneliness and betrayal you've been through, no matter how many times you've been misunderstood, you loved yourself. You found the good. You went to the Bible. You thought you saw through the racism. You saw through the perversion. You saw through what was trendy at the time, what these people were jumping on. And you know what? Maybe you didn't have much, maybe you didn't have many people, but thankfully you had the one person that mattered. And that person is a great person. You know, this isn't any kind of false affirmations or anything. For Christ's sake, I'm a Marine Corps combat veteran. You know? I was taken away from luxury of life just long enough so that I saw what luxury actually did to people. You know, luxury rots character. That's how it works. You know, you get more and more luxury, and your character becomes worse, you know, and you start complaining over things that don't even matter. And at a distance, it looks pretty ugly. You know, men need challenge and they need things to be a little bit tough. It's just how it is. But anyway, I'm glad I got this in. It's been a pretty good video. Please like and subscribe. One thing I promise is I'm never gonna like blow up and start running like weird commercials and shit all the time and just ruining it, you know? All I want to do is just keep it real, start talking to you guys, you know, kind of grow together so that you see where I'm coming from, and make some kind of impact. So thank you guys so much for all your time, and I'll see you again soon. Semper Fi.